Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day so far and ready to learn some more Dota. I'm Defied from Gamers Class and also over on YouTube where I have covered items and some basic guides previously, but I thought it would be good to discuss and analyse how to decide what items to buy during a match. Since there are so many items in Dota, it can sometimes be hard to know what items would be the right ones to buy. So today we are going to learn about the things you should consider when itemizing so that you can better decide which items will be the right ones for your hero.
If you like this kind of content, go to gamersguys.com. For just $10 a month, get your replays analyzed, watch masterclasses with pro players, join weekly coaching sessions, win prizes, and more with our Supreme Dota 2 membership.
The first thing you want to consider when purchasing items is your role or position in the game. There's really no use in buying damage items if you are the position 5 support, as it is not your job to deal damage and kill enemies. Sure, there might be a time at maybe 90 minutes in when you've got so much money that this might actually help the team, but generally this is a 1 in 100 chance or less and is usually just a waste of gold. If instead of buying a Crystallis, you bought a 4 staff, you might just have a chance of saving your teammates, catching an enemy out of position, or even escaping a gank yourself, which is a much better option for a support than dealing an extra 50 damage per second. But if you are the carry hero and need damage to kill enemies quickly, then the Crystallis is probably the better option for you. Obviously, this is going to vary widely from game to game, but always factor in your role and what you need to do in this particular match. If everyone on your team bought correctly for their role, you will have a much higher chance of synergizing as a team and successfully executing your game strategy. The second thing to think about is the exact hero you are playing. Pretty much every hero in Dota has a core set of items which are purchased almost every single game, and that is just because those items synergize and work with that hero's abilities so well. A strong example here is the Diffusal Blade on Phantom Lancer. PL's ability to create illusions of himself makes Diffusal Blade extremely powerful for him, as the mana burn provided extends to your illusions as well, helping them do bonus damage and drain the enemy's mana very quickly. There are lots of examples like this, but the key takeaway here is that you should usually build into your 1 or 2 standard core items for your hero before deciding what else to purchase. Now, I'm not saying blatantly buy these without thinking, because you'll definitely need to make sure they are the right items to buy, but remember that these ones are usually the strongest on your hero, and getting them first usually gives your hero a big power spike. The next thing to consider when buying items are the heroes in the game, both your enemies and your teammates. The items you decide to buy must sometimes be purchased to counter a specific enemy hero in order to kill them faster or protect yourselves from their abilities. Every game is going to be different, but there are some typical themes in most games that help decide what items to get. For example, if the enemy team is heavy on area of effect magic damage, then a counter for this is usually magic damage resistance in the form of a Pipe of Insight to protect you and your teammates for a short period of time. Another example are enemies that have movement-based abilities such as blinks that help them escape very easily. In this case, you'll need some catch and lockdown, so either an Orchid Malevolence for the silence, Rod of Atos for the root, or even Scythe of Vice for the hex will help with catching and killing them before they can escape. While a lot of the time you will decide your items based on your enemies, you should also consider your teammates' heroes as well, so that you can fill in any gaps in your team's lineup. Maybe you've got a lot of slow based abilities but only one hard lockdown in the form of a stun. Here, a Rod of Atos, Sheepstick, or even a Meteor Hammer might help with locking down the enemies even further. Another example might be a lack of initiation on your team without the help of a Blink Dagger, so it might be your job to buy this if none of your teammates are going for this straight away. Anyway, the moral here is to just consider what heroes your team has and think about what their abilities do and what might be missing. Then, armed with this knowledge, think about what items might fill these voids and synergize well with other abilities on your team. Next up, you'll want to consider the items that the enemies might be purchasing, as well as looking at the items the rest of your team is purchasing. It's important to think about what items the enemies might buy, as you can counter them with items of your own, making their purchase not as big of a power spike as they might have hoped for. An example here might be you on Queen of Pain, and the enemy Pudge is purchasing a Rod of Atos to lock you down and hook you away. A BKB is usually pretty good on co-op, but here a Yule's Scepter could be a better pickup, as you can dodge the incoming hook and dispel the root effect, then blink away once you land. Or maybe the enemy Terrorblade is going for a Butterfly for the evasion against your physical damage Luna. Here, she could go for a Monkey King bar, which will help her land more of her attacks against the butterfly and reduce the effectiveness of that butterfly pickup. Of course, you'll need to consider many more things in your games in order to buy the right items, but these are some good examples for you to remember. Also, don't forget to look at your teammates' items. Some auras or effects in the game don't stack with each other, so buying more than one of them on your team is usually a waste of gold. Examples of this include the auras from Assault Cuirass, Mechanism or Vladimir's Offering, among other items. Here, try to coordinate with your team before deciding on and purchasing items for particular recipes, as they might already have one of the components. Also, if you're a support hero and one support is going for the Glimmer Cape, you might want to also get a Glimmer Cape or maybe a 4 staff to widen the abilities available to your team. So I think that's mostly it. Really, just look at all of the information available to you and coordinate your item purchases so that they fulfill a specific purpose in the game. I hope this helps you all, and once again, I'm Defied from Gamers Class and also over on YouTube at youtube.com/defied. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.